Please be advised there are spoilers ahead related to the property being watched and or discussed.
Hello. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in. And this is Ashamoji TV. For those of you that are new here, welcome. The red carpet's out for you. This is where I like to watch, react, and just share my 2 cents about a couple of properties related to sci-fi and fantasy. So in today's video, I'm going to get ready to press play on episode 12, the official episode 12. I have to say it like that because on IMDb versus what's considered episode 11, I'll get to that in a second. Anyways, it's episode 12, Johari Window. And the reason why I've skipped over to episode 12, after I'm sure you've seen my reaction to episode 10, is because episode 11, Unearthed, was considered an episode shot, or not considered, it was an episode shot as part of season 1, as most of you know. And so I have already reacted to that as a bonus for my club members. Details about joining my club to watch my reaction to that episode is in the description box below. But if you just want to have an idea of what I thought about that episode, maybe you skipped some of my reactions, you're not sure what they're of, I have shared my commentary about it in my reaction to episode 1, and so the link to that video is in the description as well. So yeah. Now, going from episode 10, which was Gray Matters, we now know that Walter, his brain was shared, and there was some pertinent information in about how he accessed the alternate universe. And the information shared with me in terms of feedback about that episode has been quite interesting, especially related to William Bell and Leonard Nimoy and the whole thing with Dr. Paris and all that. So with that in mind, I'm going to now get ready to watch this episode and see if more reveals will come through, aside from the case of the week that I'm sure will be spectacular. So here's my condensed reaction for you.
Hey, sweetheart, I have to go. Yeah, give her a kiss for me, would you? Okay, bye.
Hitchhiker that looks innocent.
Hey there. Where are you headed? What you doing out here all by yourself? What about your parents? Do they know you're out here?
No, sir.
What's your name, son?
It's Teddy.
Why don't you hop in, Teddy?
Okay. Teddy doesn't look all that... Then again, looks are deceiving in this show, so...
So you were running away?
Yeah.
Well, I took off a few times when I was your age. But I bet there's people out there worried looking for you. And you know what? It doesn't matter what happened. I'm sure as soon as they see you...
Of course. What the hell?
Seeing is believing.
Where do you pick them up?
It's off at 940, a quarter mile down the road from Edina.
He just went from
Teddy, I'm gonna take your
normal
picture.
to that?
Can you put your juice down, sit up for me?
What caused that? Oh my gosh.
Hey, what you call the papers, Johnny?
He's just a kid.
Yeah, don't do
Come on
that.
now. I don't care how old he is, people have a right to know.
We're not calling anyone until this thing goes through proper channels.
One of them.
Don't you want to bet
Okay.
somebody in the proper channels leaks it to
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! One of them!
I'm sorry.
Oh my, okay. That's a really brutal opening. Alright, so a group of mutants living secretly in a town. Okay, whatever. Let's see.
Hey.
Hey, can you be ready to go in half an hour?
Why? What's up?
It's 3 dead cops and a missing kid.
Doesn't really sound like our kind of case.
Yeah, wait till you hear about the kid.
Mm-hmm. That'll get Walter all spoosed up, right?
According to the coroner, Pekarski and the other 2 troopers on duty were dead within the hour.
And the kid? He was gone.
I think whoever did this was coming for me.
They didn't leave any kind of trail.
We haven't found a single printer showcasing. And they took the surveillance hard drive.
But there was a picture of the kid?
Pekarski loaded it along with his report.
According to this report, this kid looked completely normal when Pekarski picked him up.
Agent Broyles, we found something you might want to take a look at. We found it in their files. There are 30 or 40 reports in there. Strange stories about these deformed people.
Well, some of these are 30 years old. I saw him change in front of me. Suddenly
Town
he was
secret.
hideous. All of these reports were dismissed. There was no cooperation and no hard evidence, but the vast majority of them occurred in the same area, just outside Edina.
That's where the boy was picked up, walking out of Edina.
I guess that's where we start looking.
Ah, that's how you pronounce it, Edina. Okay.
Dunno. Whatever these things are, it seems like they've managed to hide themselves for a while. And from the looks of things, they'll do just about anything to keep it that way.
Yep. Shoot you up.
Keep it in mind.
Looking forward to seeing the explanation, or hopefully understanding the explanation as to why they're all deformed like that. And how is it they can go in and out? That kid seemed normal, and then after that he wasn't.
There may be werewolves in these hills.
Werewolves?
I hope
The
so.
trooper reported that the boy changed in front of his eyes, so yes, I believe we may be looking for some kind of therianthrope.
It's Greek. Refers to a creature that has a metamorphic ability to shift between being a man and a beast. It's mythological, of course.
I saw one once when I was a young man studying in London.
London.
Do you hear that? That buzz?
I do hear it. Sounds like a generator or something. Or
What are you singing? I've no idea. It popped into my head. It must be that buzzing. I can't stop it.
Engine done?
Sheriff Belchick. Hi. Thank you for meeting us on such short notice.
Oh, of course. I couldn't help but notice that you've gotten acquainted with the Edina home.
Yeah, what is that?
Military base, about 5 miles down the road. They have a bunch of big turbine generators that get pretty loud from time to time.
Well, that's one mystery solved.
it's damn loud.
My God.
You've never seen anything like that before.
No. I've never seen a photograph of one of them.
Well, Sheriff, this boy was picked up just outside of your town. And the state police have 30 or 40 unconfirmed eyewitness reports.
Oh, yeah.
Suspect number 1 right there.
Nothing like this.
Well, we'd like to see those reports.
Of course, anything I can do.
I'm sure he knows more than he's letting on with.
Federal agents came into the diner. They had a photograph of Teddy. They're asking questions about the killings.
I told you that wasn't the answer.
What choice did we have?
What are we gonna do?
I don't know yet.
Huh. So far, I'm thinking they can just transform themselves that way at will.
You went through all the sheriff's reports?
Yeah, they've had similar sightings, but nothing conclusive. Though Sheriff Velchik did mention a military base down the road.
You floating another government conspiracy theory?
You know me, I never miss a chance for a good conspiracy theory.
Bingo!
How far away is the hotel? I'm exhausted.
I don't know, it's only supposed to be a couple more miles. Though, somebody's already decided to call it a night.
That's totally me! I'm one of those people that will sleep anywhere. Yeesh. Is that Walter still sleeping?
Wow. That is amazing. I'm so jealous. I wish I could sleep that deeply. See? This is why Peter needs a gun too.
Are we there yet, Peter?
Talk about the worst timing for him to wake up and say that like a child. Oh, gosh.
But you think you shot it?
Maybe, I don't know. But he was able to drive off.
Yeah. We'll be right there. One of our agents just found an abandoned pickup truck on the side of the road about a mile from here, back towards Edina. Do we have a preliminary? No plates, no registration. We have a forensic team on the way.
We should have them run the truck's VIN number, see if we can track down an owner.
Oh, Walter, don't go poking around. Okay, I thought he was going to go by himself and get lost or something.
Blue. It's a cheap man. Dense. I've never seen one this big on this continent. I know a certain lepidopterist who is simply thrilled. I have to get my kid from the car.
That obviously has some kind of meaning.
It's blood.
Follow the blood.
You said you shot at the creature, right?
Yeah.
You sure you saw what you think you saw?
Agent Brooke. What happened here is simple. My son shot the beast. We found the man. We may have found a creature with metamorphic ability.
Hence the 6-finger glyph. I think that tends to come for episodes kind of with this theme.
There was no idea on the guy, so we're gonna run some press. And you had no choice. First time I killed someone, the guy was a trained killer. If I hadn't pulled the trigger, I'd be dead. I still didn't sleep that night. Or the next. I'm just saying the first time's rough.
I'm sure he's killed people, though. His days in Iraq, I don't think they were roses in peace there.
I got a call from our military liaison. There's something to the rumors of military testing at Edina. Turns out the army was there in the late 70s conducting a series of classified experiments.
Anything to do with metamorphic ability?
Not that I can tell. The Pentagon files have been almost entirely redacted. I put a call into the DOD, but in the meantime, I'm faxing what we have.
Experiments, perhaps, causing a genetic mutation or something. That's why the kid has it, too.
The military experiment they did in Edina was called Project Elephant.
Walter's song.
Walter? Were you involved in any military testing in Edina?
Not that I recall. I'm sure I remember something as exciting as human metamorphosis.
Alright, so that's a yes.
Oh, Walter, it's very sweet of you to remember how much I love butterflies, but you forgot how much I hate moths.
What have you done to it?
Excuse me?
You saw it, Peter. It was an astounding creature. Nothing like this. Its wing is deformed.
Walter, if that's your idea of a joke, it's really not very funny.
Oh, what? a good scream.
It really was the most beautiful butterfly.
I'll believe that when I see it.
Well, I understand
Give it a
what
couple
you're
of
saying
hours.
about the moth and the man transforming in the same way, but I just don't understand how that could be possible.
It's likely that both developed the ability in response to the same experimental stimulus. Butterfly has 2 stages of life. It's one of the few creatures with a demonstrated ability to abruptly change its body structure. Makes it a wonderful alpha test subject. There's no sign of histolysis or histogenesis. Nothing to suggest a metamorphic ability. I just don't understand how he could possibly have transformed himself.
So, we didn't get a match on the fingerprints, but we did get a hit with the truck's VIN number. It was registered to Joe Falls, but the address on the registration was old. The house had been torn down years ago.
But he was from Edina.
Yeah.
Edina.
Joe Falls? He worked at the mill, still does odd jobs now and then. You think that thing that tried to run you off the road, you think that could be him?
It's possible. Do you have any idea where he's been living recently?
Well, the last I heard, he'd moved to the outskirts of town, but I couldn't say where. I mean, I'm happy to ask around for you.
The sheriff knows stuff.
You can find a last known address or a photo so that we can ID him.
Sure. I'll take you over to town hall.
Ah. Germline mutation, just as I thought. This man has the exact same disorder.
Is that what you think lets them transform?
No, the mutation is what makes them deformed. I have no idea what makes them transform.
Yeah, it's 2 separate things, yeah.
And this strange feeling that I've seen this mutation before.
Probably just doesn't remember.
Maybe I did work on Project Elephant like Agent Dunham said. So why did I put in this song?
To remember key information.
Walter, what are the words again?
Hard adults rarely keep Norwegian elephants Singapore sleep.
Singapore sleep. Does Harkness mean anything to you?
Harkness is a library at the law school.
You must have done it on purpose, Walter.
Yes.
So, what's at the law school library?
Come along, Astrid. Let's find out.
It's one of the best things they've done with the character of Walter. They've made his actions its own mystery as well. A puzzle to be figured out.
This is it. I remembered. Devil dogs. I love these.
Walter, we can get you a fresh one.
Well, if it's processed food, the shelf life could be longer than you think. Ah, secrets. Just the one they're looking for. Soldiers.
Formed. Just like that man in the lab.
There's just something strange about these census numbers. Between the years of 1990 and 2000, 17 people died, 47 people were born. That's the only change in the population.
Sheriff.
Likely inaccurate, probably.
I may know who's responsible. The local tax collector said that Falls had moved out to the edge of town.
He's living in a trailer with his wife and his son.
I've got an address if you want to meet me.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks. We'll see you there.
I'm convinced the sheriff is in the know. First of all, this caliber actor, I've seen him a billion times and stuff.
They don't know anything. Nothing to worry about. It's going to be fine.
You're wrong, Paul. They found out.
Rose, I know you have a special interest in this, but they don't know anything.
They have a photograph. They have proof.
Others have come before. I'm going to take care of this.
The whole
I'll
town?
make it all go away.
Okay, didn't expect that. I thought it was like, underground little thing of community people, whatever.
This is something else entirely. In the late 70s, the army became obsessed with finding a new way to camouflage soldiers. They started experimenting with electromagnetic pulses.
For camouflage?
But the army thought that if they could generate a massive electromagnetic pulse, then they could effectively scramble the optic nerve and at the right frequency, make the soldiers invisible to the naked eye. It was after I left that they realized that prolonged exposure to the pulse has a horrible side effect. Incurable genetic disorder. This moth and that deformed man are the victims of, or the children of the victims of that experiment. Here, stop here.
Walter, what are you doing?
Oh, okay. Proximity to something? And then it'll change? Huh.
Well, what do you see?
The hum.
A friend of mine once wrote that sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. The moths don't change at all. What changes is our perception of them.
You're saying that this electromagnetic pulse allows us to see these deformed people as if they were normal?
Yes, somebody must have perfected the military's camouflage technology to hide the deformities that the first tests created.
So then, so long as we stay within range of the pulse.
The babies before souls appear totally normal.
So that's the Edina hum. That's the sound that the pulse makes.
Yes, I believe so. Edward Cobb was the scientist who dreamed up Project Elephant. He would be the only one with the imagination and the know-how.
Listen, Walter, I want you and Astrid to head back home.
But given my knowledge...
Walter, listen to me. Somebody obviously has a lot invested in keeping this thing a secret. They've killed 3 people already. They tried to kill us. I don't want to have to worry about you.
Oh, well, that's very sweet of you, Sam.
I'll see you back at home.
He will he listen?
What did Peter say?
He wants us to head into town to try and find the source of the electromagnetic pulse.
There's been too much bloodshed already. It's just making things worse.
The real stakes here. That's why you gotta let me do my job and keep this town safe.
And you think that killing those federal officers is the best way to put a stop to this?
It did the last time. We've all got jobs to do, Rose. Stick to the machine. That's your job.
What kind of device are we looking for?
What we're looking for is something that could relay the discharge from microwave conversion of large energy pulses.
But what about a big antenna?
Yes, that would do, I suppose.
Something like that?
Is it in plain sight? Above the house? Barely see it. Now he gets her name wrong. And he had it right 1,000,000 times in a row in the last episode. Episode 9.
Oh, hello. Is your mother home?
No. Who are you?
I'm Walter Bishop. Your grandfather was a friend of mine. May we come in?
You have to go. I'm not supposed to have strangers in the house.
Right. But may I use your bathroom?
You know my mother will be home soon. You should go.
We will. First, I'll go, and then we'll go. But where's the bathroom?
Down the hall, second door on the left.
Thank you.
Is that Operation?
I love this game.
That's not the first time they brought up that game, right? No, I don't think so.
You still stuck on that census data?
There's just something weird about these numbers. I went back 30 years, and it looks like the only time the population goes down is when somebody dies.
And what about when people move?
No, that's just it. They don't. Nobody ever leaves this town.
Are you saying that you think that everyone in Edina is one of them?
Yeah. They're not wasting any time. It's like, I see you, I shoot you. I just hope he doesn't get caught. Look for the plug.
Oops. My turn. Going for the wishbone.
Yeah. Act like you don't notice. Act like you don't notice. Just not to make him feel bad.
Drop the gun.
Paul!
Go home, Rose.
Rose! Hello! Wow! She has a conscience indeed.
According to our files, your father resigned from his commission in 1979.
Yes, he came back to Edina and worked tirelessly on his machine until he perfected it. Then he offered the inhabitants a choice.
A choice?
Live as you are, deformed but free to roam the world, or confine yourself to Edina. Or the Pulse would allow you to hide in broad daylight. They chose the only normal life they could have.
Last time I saw you, you were a little girl. Perfectly healthy little girl.
My mother and I, we lived in Edina. We were part of the experiment.
Your father experimented on you?
No. The army never told him they were expanding the scope of the test. My father tried to create a good life for me here. For all of us, and he succeeded.
I'd let them keep the hum on. Just, don't kill any more people.
Dr. Bishop, you can't make this publication, Broyles. We need to let them keep their secret.
Dr. Bishop, 3 state troopers were killed.
And those responsible were brought to justice. You have no idea what will happen to them.
Dr. Bishop.
They will have no choice but to study these people, to examine them, to test them, to humiliate them.
Come on.
These people have been harmed enough. We simply can't.
Dr. Bishop, I don't think you're understanding me. If you didn't find the machine, there's nothing to report.
It's my man. It's my man, Broyles.
Thank you.
The way you spoke up for those people, you didn't have to do that, Walter.
glad you choose to see me the way you do.
Oh, man.
Very glad indeed.
I better enjoy it while it lasts, huh? Okay, people. Well, that's episode 12 for me. Go pick my scene. I'll be right back. Okay, so the scene I've picked from this episode is the scene where Astrid realizes that the song that Walter was humming is related to the experiments that he consulted on and how it ended up being somewhat of a clue to find the case files at the library. And I had uttered out loud during my reaction that that's one of the best parts about this character of Walter. I love how they make his mind, his memories, its own puzzle to watch unfold as it's being figured out with things he does remember, things that he camouflages, to use that word from the episode, in song or in other forms so that, you know, as a viewer, it's engaging to watch the revelation of it or the discovery of the situation or of what they're looking for. And it lends to the bigger picture because that kind of seems to be the format when it comes to Walter specifically, and tying in the current case of the week or of the episode to past deeds or actions that he's done either by himself as a consultant for the military or perhaps as well with William Bell, where it ties in with the pattern and massive dynamic and God knows what else I'll see coming forward. So that's the scene I think is fitting. And also, I'm trying to think of how to articulate this. Although sometimes my facial expressions, whenever it's revealed that Walter was part of an experiment and I'm like, yes, I'm doing that really as a tease and just because it's just easy to kind of put that out there as a quick reaction. But essentially, just rest assured, just for some of you, that it could probably get on your nerves that I do that. I'm having a little fun with, I'm a person that teases stuff in general too. Sometimes I hold myself back because I know this video goes on YouTube and my way of teasing things could be considered offensive to certain groups of people. So I'm just saying that I just want to clarify that I actually appreciate it as part of a pattern with Walter, as well as other things that they do that's kind of fitting with Peter, with Olivia, and so far, not much I'm seeing with Astrid, except for I just love her dynamic with Walter. In and of itself has its own rhythm. Just giving you some clarification that I love this show and I love the care that the creators of this show seem to have put in to everything related to the characters and the story and the narrative for the most part that I can tell. And that many of you unabashedly tell me in the comment section. Okay, all right. Ashamoji. I give it a solid 3. It's a very good episode, right? It's that kind of episode on my first watch. It's engaging. It's like, ooh, what's going on? These people are mutated. Why is that? But it's not the kind of episode that I would instantly replay. It would be like the last one so far out of the season that I've watched that I would play last at the moment. And we'll see with the rest of the season. So yeah, I think a solid 3 is fair. All right. And for those of you who kind of think 3 is like a bad thing, it's not. It's 3 out of 5. It's a majority. It's still a majority. There you have it. That's my reaction to episode 12 from the 2nd season of Fringe. I hope you've enjoyed this reaction video. And of course, I look forward to any trivia that or any interesting tidbits about this episode. Please feel free to share in the comment section below. And if you want access to my full reaction to this episode, details on how you can go about joining my club is in the description box below for you. So until my reaction to episode 13, I'm signing out, people. Goodbye with 2 hands. Goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and check out my other videos.